everyone, this is Teresa Dreamer, and I just wanted to come to you with this one video. Today I'd like to talk about some good paying careers that you can get into that don't require a college degree. From my experience, there's so many different trades and fields that we can enter that have good paying careers to elevate our lives. And in 2025, we have to be doing all that we can to get to the next level. So here we go. The first job that I wanted to bring to your attention is Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo has call centers, and the call centers tend to pay more than the average teller job. And they let you get in with just cash handling and customer service experience. If you have experience as a receptionist, you can get in. If you have experience, I saw somebody who had experience working in the food industry. She had cash handling experience. She was on an interview with me, and she also had food handling experience, cashier experience, and customer service experience. And she was able to translate those skills, and she got hired as well. And that job, is a good paying job. They offer you 40 hours a week. You get overtime. If you want to take overtime, there's more than enough hours available once you do get your training. They do allow you to work overtime and make that additional money. And they have room for growth and improvement. You can move up. Once you start, you can move up into a manager role, or you can move up into business or finance. And they're really good. So the call centers are located. The one that I used to work at was in El Monte, California. They also have one in Phoenix, Arizona, and in Marietta, Louisiana. So the one that I worked at in El Monte, it was really good. I didn't have a car at the time, so I had to take the bus an hour and a half each way. But you have to do what you got to do. But they have parking. They have a cafe. They give you discounts. It's really good because when I started, I had a Wells Fargo Opportunity account because I had some problems with my credit, and being an employee, they automatically upgraded my account to the everyday banking. But I got an employee everyday banking, and I was able to upgrade my account. Also, with the money that I was making from working full time, I was able to apply for a credit card, and I got a good credit card limit. Wells Fargo. If you work for Wells Fargo, you can also get discounts on mortgages, car loans, and all banking products, all financial products. You will get a discount on. They have insurance, like disability insurance. So if you fall ill, you can take some days off. They have paid time off. They also give you, you will have access to the portal for employees, and they have vacation discounts. You can buy a car on there. They have different places, discounts on different places where you can buy a car. You can have discounts on your hotel, vacations, things that you buy. You can get discounts. So it's a very good company, and they do move up. So that's one of the places that I wanted to tell you about that I think is really good for somebody, especially, the one thing with Wells Fargo, you can't have a record. This is before I was really criminally justice impact. And thank God that, I was able to go through the court system, complete my program, and get all my charges dropped. So I don't have a record, thank God. But that is one of the things that you will have to take into consideration, that you will have to go through a background check and a fingerprinting. Go to get fingerprints. I believe it was fingerprinting. I think it was. I know I had to do a background check, but I think I also had to get my fingerprints done. So it's good for somebody who doesn't have a record. It's good for you if you have worked in a cash handling or customer service experience. You have customer service, you have cash handling, you know how to interview, really well. It's a good job for that because, it just can help you elevate. And if you don't have a record, it's a wonderful job. You're going to get that, 40 hours a week steady. They have different schedules that you can, once you get hired, they'll allow you to choose from different schedules. If you work overnight, they have, this call center that I worked at was 24 hours a day. So, they have opportunities to work overnight. And if you work overnight, at that time, you got paid $2 more. You also got paid $2 more per hour if you spoke Spanish. So those are some wonderful things, a way for you to build that financial wealth, because once you start with Wells Fargo, you can get your certifications with the company and continue to move up and grow. And it's a wonderful work environment. You sit at your own cubicle and you just answer the phones all day. When people call their debit card, you're the one that picks up the phone and you help them with their banking. Sometimes the customers can be a little bit rude, but if you're good with the phones, if you don't let things get to you, it's a great job that I think people should take advantage of. And I mean, even if you have to move to a place where, you have a better job opportunity, sometimes it's worth it than being stuck in an area where you have no growth, no opportunity, no upward mobility. The next one I wanted to bring to your attention is working for the bank period. Chase, Wells Fargo, Citibank, Bank of America, and smaller banking branches, even the check cashing place. But I'll talk about the banks. So with the banks, all you need to be a teller is really a high school diploma. So if you have a high school diploma and cash handling experience, you worked in food service, as a cashier, you work for retail as a cashier, you have to start somewhere. With a lot of these jobs, you have to start with a basic job, a basic retail job, customer experience, food service, something, receptionist, something to get you in the door. Once you have that foot in the door, these jobs are really good because they give you 40 hours a week. Most likely you'll be off on Sundays because the banks are closed on Sundays. Sundays will be off, so that provides you some stability in terms of your schedule. They have part-time and full-time jobs available. And then through working there, to even be a personal banker, they have some personal banking positions where you don't need a degree either. You just need to dress up and know about finance and money and how to, balance a budget. If you're good with budgeting, if you're good with accounting, if you're good with how, spending your money and controlling how you control your finances, you'll probably do well in the banking industry. And in the banking industry, there's different areas that you can get certifications in and even get licenses and things like that to elevate your pay and elevate your role. You can go for certificates and things like that to be a personal banker, a mortgage banker, work in business banking, or to be a loan specialist. And those can lead you to other careers. You can start in banking and then you can go work for a real estate company with loan processing and mortgages and things like that. So it's a great path to start. Again, you will need to not have a criminal record. And for people who do have a criminal record, what you want to do is you want to go get that expunged. So basically, if you call your courthouse, start with calling your courthouse. Call your courthouse, ask who your public defender is, find that information out. Call your public defender and ask them what the process is to seal your record. Once you know that information, some courthouses even have a special department that's just for sealing your record that you can go to, and you can get it done directly. But you can always call your public defender if you don't have that in your city or town. Then you get your record sealed, and then you can apply for these jobs. You have to get your record sealed. If you have charges on your record, you're going to be locked out from so many jobs, and we don't, in 2025, going into 2026, we don't have the time to not move ahead. So that's what I wanted to bring to you. Another career that I want to bring to you, this is especially for men, is CDL Class A drivers. Those are the people who drive those big trucks that you see on the highway, on the freeways, that deliver goods to, different companies, and they pay really well. I've even seen some paying into the $100,000s, per year, for full-time work. Some of them you will drive from city to city. Some of them you stay in the States. They're mostly full-time jobs, but they have really good pay. And all you need to do for a CDL is to basically have a driver's license. You need your regular driver's license first. Then you will have to go to a CDL training school and get your Class A CDL license. And once you get that and you're confident on the road, you're not going to get into a crash, you can go and apply for these jobs. You have everything that you need. It's just, it's just driving around. That's all you're going to have to do is drive. And in some instances, you may have to load or unload or hook up stuff. In some instances, you won't. They have people who deliver for grocery stores, deliver for, retail. They have people who do long haul deliveries. So there's all types of things that you can do. And You will need your driver's license first, your regular driver's license, and then go for your CDL training. And that could be a bit of an investment if you don't have the funds to get that. But that's why you will take a low-paying, low-level job to build those funds. You can work resale, you can work a food job, you can work any job that you can get, security. You can work any of these jobs and save up money and then invest in your driving lessons for your regular driver's license. Get your driver's license. Once you completed that, then you go on to go save up for your CDL training. You get that, and then you'll be rocking and rolling. You'll be able to to drive and to make that good income. And that is a wonderful career to get started with. A lot of these companies even offer 401k. Also, Wells Fargo and the banking, of course, they offer the 401k, the retirement plans, and things like that to help you for your future. Another thing that I wanted to get into, I have two more. So another one I want to get into is construction, maintenance, and utilities. Construction, maintenance, and utilities will always be around. As long as people live in apartments and houses and rooms, there will always be something that's going to break. There will be always something that's going to be built. When you drive past a place and you see a building going up, somebody's building it. Somebody is taking time to paint that building, to put up the plaster, to put up the floors, to everything, to clean up after they construct it. Some people just get paid just to clean up, to sweep up stuff, debris and stuff like that. But they have careers in power line mechanic, which you fix the power lines that you see on the street, carpentry, which is a good path to go, electrical construction, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, which is HVAC, or general contractor. And here in Los Angeles, they have a school called Trade Technical College. And that college is where you can go basically for free. If you're, either you're low income, you don't have the funds, they will pay for your financial aid. You can get financial aid and attend your trainings for free. And they will provide you with the certifications and everything that you need to be successful. That's one place, but in your city or state, you may be able to find programs that also offer financial aid, or some where you might have to pay, but where you can go and take that training in someplace that's close to you. I think it's worth it because that's a skill that you can have for the rest of your life. And when we gain these skills, I'm going for fashion design. That fashion design is something that I'll be able to pass on when I have a daughter. I'll be able to pass that skill on to her. When you have a son, you can pass that knowledge that you get from construction onto your children, so they have a skill that they can use to make money and a skill that they can use to stay out of trouble. The last career that I wanted to bring to your attention is property management. Property management is a great career to have, especially if you're looking for a place to live. A lot of property managers get either free rent or they get a discount on renting, and you can find nice buildings. Where I live, there was a property manager that helped me get into my apartment, and that person was actually living on site. So they lived here and they worked here, and then eventually, once they made enough money, they moved on to something better for them. And that's what you can do. You can stay there for the long term, or you can just use it as a stepping stone. But there's all types of levels, from low income housing and supportive housing to, where they're nice apartments, but you might be in maybe a bad neighborhood, to, more elegant, upscale environments. And those upscale environments, either one, you can start at a low level. If you're entry level, you take those transferable skills like I've been talking about from your other jobs. You get the low level job maybe in a decent or a sketchy kind of, not sketchy, but maybe not the best neighborhood, but that has a nice apartment. It's brand new, or it's updated and it's very nice, or just some place where you feel safe enough to live and you can live for free and make some money, working there. And then you can take that experience from your resume and go to some place that's better and do the same thing, get a discount on living or live for free and work for the company. And with property management, you're basically helping people to get into apartments. You're helping people to sign up for their lease. You're helping people to, you give a tour of the property. You collect rent payments. You submit them to the property manager, the owner. And if there's maintenance requests, you take those maintenance requests. Some people only deal with showing apartments and that's all they deal with. So it's different ways that you can uplift yourself and get into a high-paying career without having to to go to college. Because college is not for everyone. And I also think that, a lot of these trades and these skills that you gain from working these jobs can allow you to work for yourself. For the banking industry, if you start being good with finances and you understand banking, you understand investments, and you understand how to grow someone's money, or you understand money very well and financial products, not only can you take that experience from a regular bank and go and work for an investment firm or a higher level bank where more people with more money go, you can also start to be a personal finance expert. And you can give instructions to everyday people and charge them for, your services on how to grow their money once you learn the ins and outs and once you have these skills. With construction, you can take those skills and you can start your own construction company. You can start your own company. You can work for yourself, be self-employed. Work when you want to work. So that's a great thing. And with property management, it's just, we have to think about ways to basically elevate ourselves and get to the next level. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention. I hope that everybody finds this video well. I hope you're doing well. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. I will keep making content. I'm trying to make the best content that I can to uplift, especially the Black community, but everybody, especially Black community and people that have come from environments that are meant to hold us down. I want us to thrive. I want us to do well. I want us to be successful. I want every Black person to be successful, to have enough money, to have enough, to have the safety that they need, to have the mental health that they need, and have everything that they need to be the person that God has called them to be. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. As always, pray over everything and do your work. And the last thing I want to say is that Indeed.com. You can go to Indeed.com and type in your state, and you can find a list. That's how I found the Wells Fargo call center job. You can go in there and just put in full-time. Put in entry level, and you will be able to find so many better type of jobs than just thinking off the top of your head. You'll be able to see, you can be able to even open up ideas, because I never thought that I'd be able to. I wanted to work at the bank when I was in New York, but I applied, they never got back to me. I didn't think that I would actually be chosen for a personal banker, but I said, you know what? I might as well apply. I said, what's it gonna hurt? They said somebody who has phone experience, cash handling experience, and customer service experience. I'm like, well, that fits me. It's a good paying job. It's 40 hours a week. It's in a nice environment. I want to try it. And I got the job. And they pay for my training. They pay for you for a whole month of training. So there's amazing opportunities out there. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment, reach out to me on my website, and let's grow up together. Okay, bye.